Welcome back to Overland Squared, adventure to the power of exploration. Today we're headed into one of Boulder County's most iconic backcountry routes, Bunce School Road and the T-33 crash site, a trail that mixes quiet forest roads with Cold War history and a reminder that even peaceful places can hold heavy stories. Buckle in, this one's part adventure, part time capsule. As we headed up Colorado Highway 7, or what the locals call Peak to Peak Highway, I was pretty nervous. This by far is the most challenging trail we've done. But with no snow on the ground and the campground at the end of this trail still open, I couldn't resist. It was time to test. Could I do it? As we pull off the highway and onto the trail, you can see the old Bunce Schoolhouse off to the right. This schoolhouse, built in 1888, would have been filled with students from nearby homesteads. The building itself was one room, heated by a single stove, no electricity, no water, just determination and whatever lunch they packed. Airing down for this one was a must. There was a great little pull-off just past the school. Set the tires at about 15 psi. Took some time to go over the equipment one more time and think about what the day had in store. If you've been watching the channel, you know I'm a bit of a history buff. So let's talk about the school itself for a minute. The building still exists just off the main county road. Built from local logs, it served students for decades. Picture frontier life, teachers living on site, chopping wood before class, teaching every grade in a single room. It closed in the 1940s, but now is saved as a preserved historic site. A reminder of how much effort it took to educate just a handful of Colorado children. Something I wasn't expecting was how my mind would contrast the two parts of this trail. A tiny frontier classroom just miles away from a Cold War jet crash. Two totally different eras connected by one trail. Here's about where Bunce starts to show its teeth. Some rocky pockets, tight turns, and roots that grab your tires just enough to make you question your line. The trail is rated moderate on OnX, but definitely keeps you awake. And for the Jeep, this is home turf. One thing I've learned over the summer: slow crawl, low gear, let the suspension do its thing. If you're new to Colorado off-roading, this could be a perfect trail, challenging enough to feel accomplished without risking your fenders. While Bunce School Road may be moderate, the Ironclads and T-33 are both rated as difficult, and you should have some experience and a capable rig before tackling either of these. These middle miles were some of my favorites. Deep forest, rolling climbs, little technical spots that make you choose your line, and some of the water crossings, while they were dry in the fall, could have been very impressive early spring and summer. This is where the story shifts. The forest gets quieter, the air feels heavier, because just off the end of this trail sits the wreckage of a 1965 U.S. Air Force T-33 Shooting Star. That's not the only reason the air felt heavier and the forest felt quieter. I'm doing this solo, and I haven't seen a car all day. It starts to creep in. What if something goes wrong? Do I have the recovery gear I need? Even more so, do I have the skill? Is the rig capable to get me to the end of this trail and the T-33 site? There are 3, maybe 4 challenging sections on this trail. I didn't get out and scout. I watched some videos prior and tried to remember where the difficult sections were and attempted to go up those. I didn't set up the drone. I didn't get out and film. I was pretty focused on the task at hand, and that was making it safely up to the crash site. This section of the trail I'd love to go back and do again, just with a friend. I was really focused on just getting through it, but with so many lines, bypasses, and variations, you could really spend some time here. As we continued to make our way up the trail, I started to think about some of the research I'd done and the reason why I wanted to do this trail this summer. While it wasn't really summer, snow hadn't fallen, the trail was still open, and something about it, the challenge, the difficulty, just spoke to me. At the end of this trail lies the backbone of America's Cold War training program, teaching pilots how to handle high-speed, high-altitude flight. But on a winter day, January 1965, low visibility and snowy condition caused the aircraft to strike this mountainside. Both crew members were killed instantly, and the debris has stayed where it fell, scattered among the rocks and trees for nearly 60 years. From the parking pull-off, it's just a short walk, and then the wilderness opens up to twisted aluminum and shattered fuselage panels. You can still see sections of the wings, scattered cockpit pieces, frame ribs, and various components half buried in the forest floor. It's not a tourist attraction, it's a memorial, a moment frozen in time, slowly being reclaimed by nature. As we walk among the wreckage where Major J.E. Curry and First Lieutenant Donald B. Darby lost their lives, I'd like for you to experience it the way I did. No setup shots, no drones, just me and my camera, alone in the forest, trying to be respectful to two American heroes who never made it home. I gotta say that was pretty impressive. I don't know what's more impressive, getting up there to see it, or the fact that they built this road to come up and get those pilots. So it didn't talk much. I was looking around, and we're ways away now. Just trying to be respectful. Right? This trail is a special one. It balances adventure, history, and reflection. Not many trails can give you all three in a single afternoon. But as we roll to the end of the trail, you get those last bits of Colorado beauty. Mountain air, tight trees, and time to reflect on what you've experienced. As we reach the end of another adventure, get aired up, and start headed home, I'd like to thank you for watching the video. And if you would, subscribe, leave a comment. Love to hear from you. Till the next one, from Overland Squared, stay safe. We'll see you on the trail.